Alrighty, I'm here to talk about the recent survey that has gone out on top of a history of things that have taken place at Canada's Wonderland to kind of prove exactly what is about to happen at Canada's Wonderland, because there is historical evidence that Canada's Wonderland is currently in a major shift of investments, and as they should be, because as history has proven itself, the audience that is seeking something fun to do in the Greater Toronto Area and in Ontario, and for people who are traveling from Quebec and the US and overseas, they are seeking a high thrill edition. And Alpen Fury and other investments over the last 10 years are core examples of that. And I'm going to present it all on the screen today and kind of paint the picture as to why we've seen such a shift, especially after Alpen Fury, and why we're not going to see necessarily the same old attractions that we're used to at Canada's Wonderland, and why we might actually go for the extreme that pushes the envelope. Back in 2023, we saw Snoopy's Racing Railway as well as Tundra Twister announced for Canada's Wonderland. Now, this was a really bad year for Canada's Wonderland. This was approximately a 14% decrease in attendance, which is absolutely insane for any park. And when you put it up against its sister parks and other parks that are now in the same chain, they were experiencing an increase in attendance or a very slight decrease. So there was an evident change of, I guess, demand from Wonderland's clientele, where they just weren't going and spending their dollar at Canada's Wonderland. And we know that there's probably other factors involved in that, but based off of the historical evidence, the stuff in front of us, there was definitely something being painted here from my personal perspective. They added an amazing new flat ride, Tundra Twister. There's a bunch of flat rides at Canada's Wonderland, and I could go on forever about why I think the era of flat rides is dying, or at least at Canada's Wonderland. And we had an amazing new family coaster that opened to large praise, open at Canada's Wonderland. And it didn't soften the bleed in terms of what Canada's Wonderland was experiencing. So that wasn't, in my opinion, what the audience was looking for. They were building the same old. Wonderland had a very core concept in terms of what they built, and you could always kind of predict what Wonderland was going to get, because it would be a major roller coaster, and then we would go through the year gap, then a water slide, then a family like flat ride or a major flat ride, as well as a kids expansion in there as well, and then it would repeat. So it's been very predictable what Canada's Wonderland would get, and our attendance over the years has been declining. So I would definitely say that people are looking for something different, and Alpen Fury was a major example of that. And we headed on into 2024. And I'm going to get into the surveys in a second, because the surveys are such interesting timing in terms of all of our latest additions. And I've seen some Americans commenting out of pure jealousy in the comment section of my videos, well, the surveys don't necessarily mean it's going to happen. There's been no... Well, actually, every survey that Wonderland has put out has led to an investment that was in the survey. There's been zero traces of a survey that Wonderland has put out that hasn't happened. But in 2024, we launched Moosehorn Falls, a high thrill water slide, and that didn't really boost anything outside of a 1% increase in attendance, but a win is a win. So that's just another example of that. Now let's get into some major coaster investments. So back in 2019, we had Yukon Striker. That was a delayed attraction. I won't get into this video, but that was delayed. Wonderland experienced a 4% increase in attendance that year, bringing us to almost 4 million. Now, I want to bring up one interesting fact, and that is Winterfest was announced that year, and it did launch that year, and it had some of the most successful opening of a Winterfest event in the chain. So that is contributed to that 4%, so it's really hard to read that. But back in 2012, Leviathan had a 5% increase in attendance when it opened. So it was definitely showing a trend that when you add these major coasters, that there is a reward. And on top of that, what we're going to learn as we go over these topics of discussion, especially Alpenfury right now, is the fast lane reward. So Canada's Wonderland, every time they announce a major new roller coaster and it opens, they have a huge increase in fast lane sales. We've heard some of the biggest sales of Fastlane in the industry in terms of the Six Flags and Cedar Fair parks. But when they opened Alpenfury, there was, and this is from the stockholders call. This isn't my writing down below, by the way. This is from the stockholders call. A 20% increase in attendance over the prior year during the same time frame. So a 20% increase in attendance because of Alpenfury, which is insane, and 100,000 units in season pass sales after Alpenfury had opened. So that is some serious success. Now, what I really want to get into is Alpenfury didn't even allow Canada's Wonderland to tap into that success to their full potential. To put that into perspective and to explain that in a little more informative, if you go to Alpenfury and you try and buy a single-use Fastlane ticket, you were unable to, for the majority of this ride being open. You could not purchase single-use Fastlane. So that is a loss of potential revenue. Alpenfury just does not have the capacity to entertain that market. So that leaves a huge opportunity for Canada's Wonderland to continue upon that success with larger capacity major additions. So if you really look at history repeating itself and look at the analytical data in front of us, Canada's Wonderland is not that family park that I thought it was, and a lot of us talk about. It really isn't. When Wonderland adds those family additions, they don't see major spikes in attendance. When Canada's Wonderland adds flat rides, they don't see major spikes in attendance. But when Canada's Wonderland pushes the envelope and adds a world record breaker or something significant, there is a large increase in attendance. Canada's Wonderland has a very weak middle ground in terms of rides and roller coasters. There is a huge gap. So there is a lot of opportunity for Canada's Wonderland to become that major destination, and it looks like they're very aware of that, and we're going to see that happen over the next 5 years. In fact, I'll start getting into the surveys now because there's an interesting picture to be painted here. So like I was saying, back in 2023, July to be exact, or late June, around July 12th, a survey was launched for Canada's Wonderland's what to become their 2025 coaster. We didn't know that at the time. We just thought they were surveying for a new roller coaster. There were some signs of roller coaster construction popping up around the mountain area, like the little survey markings. This survey dropped, and you had the choices between a blast coaster coming out of the mountain, a wing roller coaster with onboard audio, potentially in the Kingswood area, and a family gravity group or GCI roller coaster back in the Whitewater Canyon area with a Frontier Canada theming and storyline similar to the area we used to see at Cedar Point and we do see at Knott's Berry Farm. So evidently, they went with the Blast Coaster. The survey results came in, and the Blast Coaster obviously had the highest return on clicks in their survey. But there is still some interesting things to look at, like the potential interest in finishing Frontier Canada with a family expansion / some storytelling, as well as the potential interest to develop Kingswood into a roller coaster as well. Evidently, they did go for, and if you remember, Moosehorn Falls was in the survey, or a survey that came out actually 2 months before this. And they went with Moosehorn and the Blast Coaster. So the surveys did lead to both our exact water slide that they were surveying about and the Blast Coaster that was coming out of the mountain. Now, our 2025 surveys are surveying about a high intense roller coaster and kind of giving me the vibe that they are trying to become that destination park and almost become the Cedar Point of Canada. It definitely looks like they've realized that their market is craving a park like Cedar Point and not a park like Knott's Berry Farm. Knott's Berry Farm is one of the most successful parks in the chain. So that's not me knocking on Knott's Berry Farm. But Knott's Berry Farm obviously has that market, whereas Canada's Wonderland, which I thought was that market, is actually craving a high intense park. And they are obviously realizing that because you have the choices of a world record RMC in the Kingswood area, an extreme spinner in the Kingswood area, or, they're also surveying the potential interest in developing Flight Deck's plot of land or Whitewater's plot of land. We obviously can't tell. Those are just my two guesses. There is a reason I am giving you only the Kingswood plot of land for those two major roller coasters. I'll talk about that in another video. Otherwise, this video is going to be 30 minutes long. But we also had the water coaster. Now, I'm going to explain these surveys because these surveys are stuff that is already picked or fully developed or being developed. And they're seeking your advice for a reason. So what I think is going to happen, I think I've expressed this in another video, is you are going to see that water coaster, and it's going to be on Moosehorn's tower, and that's going to happen within the next 2 years. We are going to see the world record-breaking RMC or the Extreme Spinner in Kingswood using Time Warp's plot of land and Kingswood, and we will potentially, maybe, if the survey results are okay, about it, see a log flume in Flight Deck's plot of land or Whitewater Canyon, because I'm still up in the air about if Flight Deck is going to be used for the 2027-2028 coaster. But again, a world record breaking RMC takes up a lot of land, so we are looking for a large plot of land for them to use. But it all comes down to that, on where they would put the Whitewater Canyon kind of log flume. Would it go in Whitewater Canyon, or would it go in Flight Deck to play homage to Zuma Flume? But yes, I do want to stress that you will see these survey results come to fruition, and you will see Kingswood coming down, and it would probably happen in the next year at max. I'm hoping you'll see it start signs this winter. Because, again, ripping up all that concrete and the building and structures back there is going to take a lot of work. So we should see work starting soon. But I just wanted to present this because I know that a lot of us, including myself, criminal number one over here, in painting that Wonderland is a family park and not a high thrill park, that obviously the evidence is suggesting that Canadians and people who come to Canada's Wonderland are craving a high intense roller coaster park, and we're going to see it developed into that, and that's really exciting. So comment down below which you would prefer in terms of development, a world record RMC or an extreme spinner or a log flume. If you had to pick between those three, which of those three would you like to see? Rank them from 1 to 3 in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good one. Bye.